Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is the meeting of the Municipal Land Use Board of the Borough of River Edge for Wednesday, August 10th, 2022. Time now is 7:31 p.m. This meeting of the Municipal Land Use Board of the Borough of River Edge is being held in compliance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act and associated regulations. Notice of this meeting was published in the Bergen Record on January 8th, 2022, posted on the front doors of Borough Hall, posted on the borough's website, and made available for review in the board clerk's office. A copy of the agenda for this meeting was made available for review on the borough's website near the posting of the meeting notice and in the board clerk's office. Please silence all cell phones. Please wait to be recognized by the chairperson during the meeting. And when making a public comment, please state your name, spell your last name, and provide your address for the record. Would you please stand now for the salute to the flag? Councilman, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Ms. Styling, when you're ready, would you call the roll, please?
All right, Mr. Mayor is excused. Mr. Caslin?
Here.
Ms. Boland?
Here.
Mr. Merman is excused. Mr. Pfeffer?
Here.
Mr. Cray?
Here.
Mr. Erikelian is excused. Councilman Kanigo?
Here.
Mr. Gibbons, Mr. Esposito, and Mr. Bustede are excused. And also here tonight is Steve Lyden on behalf of the board planner, Tom Behrens.
Good. Thank you. Our first agenda item this evening is approval of minutes. We have minutes for our meeting of July 13th, 2022. Minutes were circulated previously for review by the board. At this time, I will entertain any questions or comments on the draft minutes. There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Cray. I have a second.
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
All right, and we'll do roll call with those eligible to vote. Ms. Boland,
Yes.
Mr. Pfeffer, oh no, you were not
Right.
at that meeting. And Mr. Cray,
Yes.
and Mr.
No.
Caslin was absent. So just those two, and the motion passes.
Okay, thank you for that. Our next agenda item under approval of minutes is our minutes for our meeting of July 27, 2022. The draft of the minutes were circulated for review by the board previously. I'll open to the board for any questions, comments on the draft. Being none, I will entertain a motion to approve. Mr. Cray, thank you. I have a second.
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
All right, I'll do the same for the 27th. Mr. Caslin,
Yes.
Ms. Boland,
Yes.
Mr. Cray.
Yes.
All right, and the motion passes.
Okay, thank you. Our next item on the agenda this evening, the memorializations. First item is ILBJ LLC. Property is 335 Johnson Avenue, Block 1405, Lot 3. This was a request for an extension of a previously granted approval by this board. A draft of the resolution was circulated to the board for review. Open to the board for comments or questions on the draft as provided. Okay, there being none, I will.
And just
you
as
wanna-
a discussion point, as part of the approval, it was a condition that the applicant clean up the property to the reasonable satisfaction of the zoning officer within 15 days of the date of approval, which would be August 11th or tomorrow. That cleanup has occurred and was confirmed by the borough engineer today. So I'm going to revise the resolution to include that language.
Just from the board on that? No?
To approve with the edits described.
Thank you, Mr. Cray.
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
All right, and I'll only call those eligible to vote. Mr. Caslin,
Yes.
Ms. Boland,
Yes.
Mr. Cray.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes.
Okay, thank you. The next item under memorializations is Paul I. Perkins and Belkis A. Almanzar Perkins. Property is 311 Kinder Kamak Road, Block 1004, Lot 26. This was a site plan approval for a new house on a second lot. A draft of the resolution was previously circulated to the board for review. At this time, I will open for any comments, questions on the resolution provided.
My only comment was there was an error in the second paragraph. There was a reference to lot 26.06, but it should be lot 26.02. And then there were numbering issues on page 8 to 10. I've corrected those.
Okay. Thank you. With those items, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved.
Thank you, Ms. Boland. I have a second?
If you could second, that would be good.
Need a second? Okay, I will second it.
All right, and Mr. Caslin
Yes.
and Ms. Boland,
Yes.
and the motion passes.
So we're the only two eligible to vote on. Okay.
It's okay, you only need one.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Next, under memorializations, we have Jin Long, applicant. Property is 117 Manning Avenue. This is block 803 in lot 7. The applicant seeking approval to install a 6-foot fence on a corner lot front yard. The variances were denied by the board. Draft resolution was circulated for review prior to the meeting. Open to the board for comments or questions on the resolution. There being none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the resolution as presented.
Motion to approve?
Thank you, Mr. Cry. Have a second?
Second?
Thank you, Ms. Boland.
All right, Mr. Caslin,
Yes.
Ms. Boland,
Yes.
and Mr. Cray.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes.
Okay, thank you very much. Our next item this evening is completeness review. Applicant is Chen Lo. Property is 910 Willow Avenue, block 105, lot 13. Applicant is seeking to install a new 575.25 square foot patio, maximum improved lot coverage and side and rear yard, and setback variance relief required.
Prior to the meeting, I reviewed the proofs submitted by the applicant and found them to be sufficient for the board to have jurisdiction to hear the application tonight.
Thank you, Ms. Steinle. Mr. Lyden, any comments on the application?
I would only suggest that, Mr. Chairman, that it's an application that was proposing the construction of a at-grade patio. There's no above-grade construction that we normally think of with construction, so it's somewhat simple, and I think the board could, I know there's not a key map and things like that, but I think the board could find it had enough information in order to make an informed decision and waive the requirements of the ordinance that may not be applicable.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lyden.
You're welcome.
Comments from the board on the application as far as completeness? Okay, there being none, I will entertain a motion to approve the application as complete.
So,
Okay, I think I had first from Mr. Kanigo and a second from Mr. Craig.
Mr. Caslin,
Yes.
Ms. Boland,
Yes.
Mr. Pfeffer,
yes.
Mr. Cray,
Yes.
Councilman Kinigo.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes.
All right. Our next agenda item this evening is new business. Applicant is Chen Lo. Property is 910 Willow Avenue, block 105, lot 13. This is an application to install a new 575.25 square foot patio, seeking variances for maximum improved lot coverage and side and rear yard and setback variances. Gentlemen, would you come up to the table here?
My son Jerry.
Okay.
He's 18 years old, so he could help me to translate.
Okay, well,
When
could you,
he was 4 months old, we moved from Lodi to here. Now he's 18.
Wow.
Well, good evening and welcome. So before we get started, our board attorney will swear you in.
So if you please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, and could you please both state your full name and provide your last name and address for the record?
My first name Chen, Chen. Last name Luo, Luo. Address is 910 Willow Avenue, River Edge, New Jersey, 07661.
Jerry, Jerry, and my last name is Luo, Luo. My home address is 910 Willow Avenue.
Okay, great, thank you.
Okay. Good evening, gentlemen. Why don't, as a starting matter, why don't you provide us with some background on the application and the relief you're seeking this evening? Give us a description of the project you're looking to undertake at your property.
Yeah. Actually, I'm building a.
Could you?
Yeah.
Hold on one second, I'm sorry. So could you just move
sorry.
the microphone just a little closer, just so we have you on the record?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Actually, I'm planning to put a 575.25 square feet patio in my backyard. It was grass. Just right my wood deck. So actually, these pieces, that's for my daughter. So could I let my son Jerry maybe he could explain much clearer than me about why I need this patio.
Sure.
Yeah.
As of currently, my sister is facing some mental difficulties with going outside of our home, right? She is facing panic attacks and is generally unwilling to leave the house. And we're hoping that with the installation of the patio, we could put like exercise equipment or just have a general area to, be outdoors. That's other than the wooden patio, of course, in order to, keep her healthy in it, right?
So could you give the board just a description? What is the patio going to be constructive of? Is it concrete? Can you give us a little bit of a description of what you're looking to do?
Yeah, actually, that's they will put. I know it's a kind of a very small stone with a concrete powder, maybe that's on the base, and with the sand on the top, and on the top they have the brick. It's about half square feet brick. It's same, very similar like my current walkway. I have a current walkway on the side, so very similar material.
Okay, so it's going to be set stone or set pieces as opposed to a poured concrete?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Anything else you want to share with the board?
Actually, I have 3 pieces on my drawing. A, that's the main area.
Okay.
And B, it's just a connected existing walkway to the patio. Actually, C, you can see a 21 inch by 4 inch. That's the place I would like to put some equipment, portable exercise equipment on the top. That's a sideway. It was a grass, but they have a very big tree there. So all the grass, we tried multiple times. They all dead. So I'm planning to put a patio on the top too, just for the exercise equipment.
Okay. So that's 21 feet by 4 feet?
By 4, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just to be clear on that. Okay. Anything further you want to share before I open it to questions of the board?
Okay. Also about they have a minimum 5-foot side and rear yard. They call it setbacks, right? On my drawing, they have a 4.7. If you see the Google Maps, you will Google Earth or Google Map, you will see they have a very big tree between I and my neighbor. So actually, when we put the fence 10 years ago, we have to move inside. So actually, that's more than if you count from the edge, it's almost 5 feet. But now I just measured from the my scheduled patio to the side, that's 4.7. Actually, it's very close, 5 feet to my property edge. 你可以说一下关于杰瑞回文地的医生的事。
对，就说一说那数。
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This time I'll open it up to questions from the board. Mr. Craig, start with you.
Yeah, I know it's not on the dimension sheet for the zoning requirements. It looks like your property is 100 by 100, it's 10,000 square feet?
Yes.
Okay, so you're on an oversized lot, a larger lot than required. I guess the concern I have is, you've got an oversized lot, and you're already at kind of the maximum lot coverage, and we typically try to, minimize those overages. And look at this, I mean, you've got the 3 different sections that you mapped out, one being that 4 by 21 foot area, one being the 20 by 22 area, which is the larger area, I'm assuming. And then a small piece, I'm assuming that's connecting the original walkway to the patio.
Yeah.
The 2 pieces, the C and B, is almost, I think, about 25% of what you're looking to add. Are those 2 elements critical, or is that larger area in the back, the 20 by 22, really the important thing as far as what you want to accomplish for your daughter?
Yeah, actually, to be honest, the area A, like 20 by 22, and B, B is the connection. So these 2 pieces is much important. The 21 by 4, I mean, it's flexible. I just want to put some heavy exercise.
Yeah, because the thing is that, we'd like to minimize the overage, and the C section not only, kind of pushes that up, but it's also the section where I think the issue with the 2-foot dimension from the lot line for a paver comes in place. So, I mean, if would you consider removing that piece from your request?
Yeah, I could, yeah. But if if could approve, will be much better. But I think it's not this piece is not like something necessary. Yeah, I could put something there. I don't need to put a patio.
Okay. Okay, that's all the questions I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Craig. Councilman, questions?
Where would that bring us in terms of overage then, if we got rid of that 21 by 4 piece?
Mr. Lyden, I don't know if you could do some,
It would just be under 500 square feet, Counselor. The Section C, Zone C, is listed as 84 square feet, and the variance of the way it is now is 574 square feet. So it would be just a little bit under 500 square feet. So that would be the size of the entire proposal, but.
Percentage-wise,
Yeah.
it would bring us where?
Percentage-wise, I'm not sure, I did not do that math. The applicant is already over, so it would still be in excess of what the ordinance allows, and it'd be slightly under
Would it
500.
bring us under the 40%, not threshold, but just 40% number?
It would be just above, I think.
Still above.
So it will be 4.91% more. I mean, like.
I don't know if we have a chance to comment later.
40.31.
Yeah, I'll keep my comments for later. I want to hear from everybody else first.
okay. Ms. Muller?
I feel the same way. You have a 10,000 square foot lot, And I think you're looking for too much, especially C for sure, because it's right up against the property line. I did look at your property from Google Earth. You have a beautiful home. The walkway, I don't see why you would need to extend it. It goes to your deck, so you could take away B as well. And even if you lined up A with the edge of the house, it would be a much better situation. I actually took your numbers and came up with a 38.8%. If you took away B and C and lined up the new patio with the deck, that would bring you to the 38.8, which is more in line with what we tend to approve for a larger lot.
Okay, let me see.
It's still a sizable patio. And then you don't have any of the setback variances.
Let me see. 羽毛球怎么说？就是打羽毛的那个球。Sorry, let me.
That's okay. 那是小的圈圈有一个那鸟。
这样就是 yeah. So yeah, I'm yeah. Yeah, badminton. So for badminton, maybe if I take the line with the deck, maybe it's a little bit small, but I could like maybe remove a little bit from the. Let me see. That's from from east. I mean, to like.
So it would be 20 by
The
17.
side, is that your southern side of your property?
Yeah. That's what I mean. So like.
What are you proposing to take away for that patio?
Yeah, at least 2 feet.
Excuse me?
At least 2 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That would improve
will
it.
be 20 by
I
20
believe
by
you,
20.
I believe you'd be under 40% that way. I don't know how the board feels.
Where are we talking about?
So I was saying to cut off 5 feet to line it up with the deck.
Oh, it's just,
He's asking if he could just cut off 2 feet. So so the setback would be 6.7 versus 4.7. So that would bring you under 40%, but higher than 38.8.
Would that be reducing B by 2?
No, it would
as
be
well?
taking away B and,
Taking away.
taking away B and C
Okay.
and reducing A by 2 by 20,
20 by
by
20.
40 square feet.
Right, the resulting patio would be 20 by 20.
I'm sorry?
The resulting patio would be 20 by 20.
correct.
That's right, 20 by 20.
Councilman?
No, 20.
Are there flooding issues in your backyard at all? Do you get water pooling when there's storms, the big storms that we've had lately?
No. Yeah, not in my area.
Thank you.
Ms. Boland, anything further?
That's it.
Okay.
So it would be an increase in 400 square feet versus the 575 that you're proposing.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pfeffer?
Thank you. So first of all, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page and have the same image in our minds. So we're talking about removing entirely B and C and then reducing A by 2 feet so that it lines up with the edge of the wood deck.
No, it would not line up anymore.
Oh, just 2 feet?
Just 2 feet.
5 feet would
Make it
line
line
up.
up.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
If you moved 2 feet from the southern side of the house and took another 2 feet, let's say, from the northern side of A,
Northern side.
how would
Okay.
you feel about that? The idea is just to create as much natural land as possible
Okay.
because it allows for more drainage when there's rain. We have a problem with flooding, and so the less land that's covered, the better.
The rainwater can drain away, right?
Yes. So would that be something, if we can shave 2 feet off of one side and 2 feet off the other side of A?
So the section B, is that okay? For example, I just put a couple pieces. I mean, they have the grass, and for example, like a 1 feet by 1 feet stone. Put a couple pieces like a step stone, not cover the whole area. I don't know if that's okay.
We talked about that with a prior applicant not too long ago who came before us, where we had asked them to remove some concrete, and then we had said you can put pavers as long as they're spaced and there's grass around them, so I don't see that that would be a problem.
Is that what you're envisioning, is pavers that have space between them?
Yeah. So I mean, for the section B,
Right.
it was just connected my walkway to the new, existing to the new patio.
Right.
So I could put just, for example, like a couple pieces, not cover them all.
Right, okay. I mean, I can't speak for everyone on the board, but that makes sense to me. But are you saying to do that as well as shrink A on both sides of A?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, just to be clear, we're talking about removing C entirely, right? In the space marked B, we're going to have pavers with space between the pavers.
A stepping stone.
Yeah, like a stepping stone type of paver. And then section A would be reduced by 2 feet on both sides, north side and south side.
Or 2 feet on both sides, right? So will be 18. It was 20 by 22. So now it means like 18 by 20, right? 18.
Right.
18 by 20.
18 by 20 or 16 by 22 if you wanted to pop out further.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
depends which side you take it away from.
Either way, but that is.
We're trying to see how much we can reduce it that would also be acceptable to you.
Okay. 18. It was 20 by 22. 现在是18 by 20. So 360.
Okay.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
And how large, what are the dimensions, if you know, of the wood deck?
Wood deck is, let me see. About 6 by 8. 6 feet by 8 feet.
And I assume you're using that wood deck for some outdoor activity
Yeah.
already,
Yes.
correct? Okay. And do you have any thoughts or plans about covering this area or having some cover during the winter, like a canopy or a shelter of some type during the fall and winter?
No. Yeah. So I just have umbrella
Okay.
deck now.
All right. Okay, I have no further questions.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Pfeffer. I just have a few follow-up questions. The wood deck, how much of a change in grade is there? How high, is it elevated off of the
Yeah, they have three stairs.
3 stairs?
Three stairs,
So
yeah.
about 3 feet above the
Yeah.
yard area?
Yeah.
Okay. And then looking at your survey that you submitted, there's a vent area, and it looks like for an exhaust vents, a water spigot, and looks like 2 exterior air conditioning units. So where are those, are those items the box that you've drawn adjacent to Area A on your site plan?
Let's see. Yeah, actually, that's a washer and dryer vent.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not very close ground. They have about like 2.5 or 3 feet high, so it's on the top.
Okay. So the box that you've illustrated next to item A, or area A on your site plan, it's not labeled for anything, I imagine, is that you're intending to have that reflect the air conditioning units and this sort of vent and spigot area that's shown on your survey?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay, okay, very good. Do you know, is there a seepage pit already installed in your yard area for when your house was constructed? How long have you been in your house? You mentioned you've been there 18 years?
No, this house I purchased in 2008
Oh, okay.
to 2008, so it's 14 years now.
Okay, so you haven't done any work since you've lived there?
Yeah, it was a new
Okay.
construction.
Okay.
Besides the fence, but, you know, that's just the fence.
I have nothing further. I think all the questions have been answered that I have. Okay. At this point, I'm, Mr. Lyden?
I don't have anything to add, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Anything further from the board before we open to the public? Okay. Then, that said, I will entertain a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you, Mr. Pfeffer. Mr. Cray, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, any abstain? Okay, we're now open to the public. There being no one here, I'll entertain a motion to close to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstain? Okay. All right, any further questions before we
Maybe, so.
do
we'll-
want to, let's recap of,
confirm.
yeah, I was going to say, any further questions, and then before we take action, maybe we'll just recap exactly where we are in terms of what is being proposed.
Okay, so you had agreed to eliminate C, remove B, add stepping stones where B is located,
Yeah.
with grass in between,
Mhm.
and then reduce A to, I guess,
18 by 20.
18 by 20.
so 360 square feet. That could be 18 by 20 or whatever size works best for you. Okay, that's everything you're okay with, those changes? All right.
Okay. All right. All right, with those changes to the application, I will entertain a motion on the application at this point.
And subject to Costa's review as to any seepage pits, if any are necessary, I don't know, but.
Yeah, I think the resolution, we would make that.
Yep. So there's some standard conditions in all of our resolutions where if the borough engineer finds that any additional stormwater management is required, then you'll work with him to
Okay.
to make those changes. Okay?
He's reasonable, he works with residents very well.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
With the changes that were described, I make a motion that we accept and approve this variance request.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Craig.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Pfeffer. Ms. Diamond, when you're ready.
All right, Mr. Caslin,
Yes.
Ms. Boland,
Yes.
Mr. Pfeffer,
Yes.
Mr. Craig,
Yes.
Councilman Kinigo.
Yes.
All right, the motion passes. Thank you.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming in this evening, and good luck.
I do appreciate everybody's coming. That's all. I'm nervous. That's the first time I'm going here.
Okay.
Did very well.
You did.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Yeah.
It's easier next time.
And excellent work to your assistant as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. There being nothing further on the agenda this evening as far as old business, anything from the board, comments, questions?
I think, Mr. Chairman, you might want to excuse the witnesses. They seem unsure.
We're gonna close the meeting, so.
Okay.
Everybody's gonna get
Everyone will
excused.
be, okay.
Which I'll entertain a motion to close the meeting. Thank you, Mr. Craig. May I have a second?
Second?
Ms. Bowen, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and abstained?
Thank you.
We stand adjourned.